now that some time has passed, were you ever in love with, like, your ex-wife or the long relationship you had
The
with the other
ex-wife? Never.
Never.
The long relationship? Sure.
Okay.
But the ex-wife? No.
Well, with the ex-wife,
Never in love.
you have said on the show, so it's safe to say that you guys were close to maybe trying to have a kid. But you didn't agree. But you didn't agree with having kids. So what was going on in your head?
That was during the Anthony. I'll do anything to stop the conflict phase of Anthony.
And you thought that would stop the conflict?
That Anthony, by the way, is dead and buried.
No kidding.
Dead and buried. Now it's conflict.
Yeah.
If I feel I need to conflict.
It's the Opiate and Gaza show.
Yes, exactly. Don't lob any missiles at me.
But that wouldn't have solved the conflict.
No,
it would have made it way worse.
Well, that's why.
Knowing you wouldn't have a kid, then there'd be some, like,
That's why I would go like, oh, and not be done.
But wouldn't she figure it out later that you were...
You were faking?
Oh, hell yeah.
With the ex?
I didn't want her pregnant. What are you kidding?
You were pretending?
Yeah.
To try to make
my
a...
God.
I guess you could say pretending to try to make one.
Make her pregnant.
He was standing outside of a fire just pointing a hose yelling whoosh.
Exactly.
There you go. You summarized that one.
Ain't gonna catch me.
So then, all right.
Because that was close to the end anyway.
But let me go with that. So now she assumes the act is over.
Yeah.
But you still...
Yeah.
You still have to get rid of the poison.
I got to get up and go to the bathroom.
And then you would...
I'll be right back.
And then you'd...
I'll go and think of someone else.
Yeah. And then you would try to get the toilet pregnant.
Yes. Yeah. Wow. Oh. Yeah. The trap on that toilet must have looked like the Jell-O pudding vanilla factory.
Clayton,
I didn't want a kid. I didn't want one. I just saw guys having kids, and it would just...
But that's why you got married, because you saw everyone else getting married, and you felt like, well, I got to get married, I guess.
Yeah, to be an adult. And then the kid thing was not my idea. We had like this plan, this like long-range plan. It was like, all right, get married. After like 3 years of marriage, that's like, all right, we could have fun for 3 years, and then we'll work on kids. But then I started getting into radio, and then I was like, I got this career just coming up. I can't be doing this. We're going to have to alter the plan. And boy, did I keep altering that plan.
You sure did, my friend.
Until there was a massive blowout. Mm-hmm. And it was like, all right, it's time. And then it was like, oh, no one's getting pregnant here. What's the story? Go to a fertility doctor and have everything checked out. I, meanwhile, have like, my cells look like the Nazis at Nuremberg in like 39.
I have to interrupt, though, because you were doing what you just explained a few minutes ago.
Yep.
So she's assuming that you guys are definitely trying.
But there's a problem.
And now all of a sudden at dinner or something, you got to go, well, we've been trying for a while. So
I didn't say that. I was like, no. She's like, oh, well, something we might have to go, check this out and see if there's a problem with one or the other. The guy looked under the microscope at mine, and they looked back at him with angry eyes. I'm raring to go.
And the doctor looks at you. He looks under the microscope, sees what really is going on, looks at you and gives you a wink like, all right, I've seen this one before.
Mine are all on, like, Nautilus machines.
Taking steroids. They're rocking.
Oh, rocking.
That's right.
Everything seemed to be in order, so it was just like, I don't know.
They're all trying to take on Michael Phelps. They're just having swimming competitions.
Yeah. And then they're like, oh, maybe you need some kind of vitamins.
Really?
They said. So then there was this whole vitamin thing, and
did you go with the vitamins?
I'll go with anything. I knew what the real story was.
Yep. Sock full of tapioca.
Exactly.
You are classic, man.
I didn't want any kids.
All these years, I never knew. Well, I sort of knew a little of this, but I didn't realize to what extent.
Yeah.
Did she ever get checked out?
Yeah.
And they saw that she was all right?
Yep. Everything should have been hunky-dory.
How long did you do that for?
Oh, my God.
Oh, it was quite a while.
More than 6 months?
Yeah, about that. And then it got to the point where it's just kind of, things were,
Dude, she had to know, though, because, I mean, when you do that with a...
Yeah, there's kind of
afterwards, you kind of know that...
a byproduct
Thank
or something,
you.
But...
Yes.
I would just make it seem like, I don't even know how to put this, and I'm pretty good at doing this, but I would make it seem like it was inaccessible for her. Like I would make it seem like that should have been in her chest somewhere. like you're really not gonna find much.
You give the impression that you had opened the warehouse door and just lobbed that ping pong way into the back of the warehouse.
Way in the back of the warehouse.
She bought that?
Hey, whatever.
She had to know.
Why would anyone fake?
She's probably in denial, too. She had to know. Come on.
I don't know.
Come on.
Doesn't matter to me now.
And you can't move, though. After you fake, what happens is you kind of have to stay put for a little while.
There you go. See, Jimmy knows.
Of course.
Right.
I faked the other way.
Yeah.
I didn't do nothing.
What's wrong with you?